What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the JR Wisdom channel. I want to thank all you guys for tuning back in, new and old subscribers. And if you're just now clicking on one of my videos, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button along with the bell. That way you receive all the notifications for all my future videos. Well, coming to you tonight, this evening, the morning, wherever you're at, I have, this is quite a doozy. So to speak. I heard about this one and I read and looked into it, and I'm like, stuff like this actually goes on. I'm sorry I don't have the for those of you who are watching this live right now, I don't have the thumbnail for you guys to look at so that you can see, what this is, but maybe you guys probably heard of it. Shout out to H Town, shout out to Third Ward, shout out to Texas for all you guys who are probably more familiar with this. Um, this is in reference to a female judge down there who was either a magistrate or I believe she was a municipal court judge. Her name is Hillary Hillary Green. Is this did you said Maya Campbell? Is the title different on here? Is the title? I hope the title's not saying something else, because he just came in and said Maya Campbell. Um, Messing up. I'm thinking. I'll keep talking anyway. I'll go back and change. I'll go back and change the title. Anyway, if I messed up, Mila, what's happening? But I'm talking about this judge here in Houston, Texas. She's a small claims, I guess, or misdemeanor, wherever you're at, municipal court judge, magistrate court judge, and she's pretty popular in the district that she was in, a part of Houston, and obviously, like I said, she oversaw misdemeanors and traffic violations and things like that, and she was fulfilling this capacity, performing this job since 2007. However, she took over and was elected during that time. So, as of this past Friday that went by, she has been suspended. Now, for judges to get suspended, a judge can be suspended for a number of different things. Misconduct, conduct unbecoming, a public servant, you not serving in your capacity, things like that. But it's very difficult a lot of times to bag a judge or get a judge suspended, or definitely as far as getting them removed from the bench, which would take, I believe, an act of the Supreme Court to do that. So, this woman in particular, like I said, her name is Hillary Green, and she was married to a guy. Her husband was Ronald C. Green, and he was a city controller for the city of Houston. He's made history, basically the first African American in Houston to have that position, and it's the second highest office in the city, and I guess the first highest, I'm assuming, would be the mayor of the city of Houston. So this story basically broke wide open because of their divorce, which was initiated in 2015, and everybody knows who've been through a divorce or know people have been through divorce. It's a terrible process. You see the worst of people. Allegations get thrown around. You know, uh, Adultery is brought up. So and so is cheating on this. But in the case of these two, it's crazy. You know what I mean? He's basically, brought out the fact that this woman has been on drugs, for years. She's been on drugs for like forever. She's been having other complaints and stuff like that. She's been on, from taking ecstasy. She coming showing up to work high on lean. For those of you who don't know what lean is, she's sipping on promethazine syrup, which is very popular, everywhere now, but well known for being in Texas, a Houston thing. So she was addicted to that prescription cough syrup, smoking weed, doing cocaine. She's doing all this while she's sitting on the bench judging other people and handing out sentences and stuff like that. So, as part of his allegations, and obviously the seriousness of his allegations, in the divorce filing, in his complaint and things like that, it made it up to the state commission on judicial court to launch an investigation on her because she's a judge, obviously. So in that aspect, prior to that, she's been under investigation for 4 years, and they've been going on with that. And I guess somewhere, obviously, they're digging, going through text messages and all that. Her side dude comes into the picture. You know, this side dude, whose name is Claude Barnes. Obviously, I'm assuming based upon the story, he's a low-level dude, probably a petty drug dealer or something like that. Probably a bad boy she just got attracted to, that she started seeing back in 2009. And this dude was providing her with, ecstasy, weed, all the party drugs, cocaine, and buying her lean as well, off the street. Buying her bottles for that because she had an addiction to it. So all of this was going on, and this was coming out. Not only that, she was having a sexting relationship with the bailiff in the court, where she was texting him back and forth, basically, and having him. He was also getting drugs for her and stuff like that. While they're in court, he still wasn't relieved even after this investigation. I think this bailiff even took, I guess one of the defendants showed up in the courthouse, and he actually took some weed off one of the defendants and then gave it to her. And she brought it to her boyfriend, the side dude, Claude Barnes, and they smoked the weed together. So with all this going on in this little relationship they had, these two, her and the side dude, while her husband is doing whatever, she's alleging that her husband was cheating on her also. They're buying prostitutes off a Backpage on a few different occasions, which she denied supposedly, but they, staying at the Crown Plaza Hotel and stuff like that, getting Backpage broads, For those of you who don't know what Backpage broads are, it's they kind of like shut it down on Backpage, so to speak. I did a video on this. It's basically women who go on Backpage, post an ad for prostituting or selling themselves sexual favors and stuff like that on Backpage. And a lot of women make a living by doing this, posting up at hotels. But in the case, this is a judge and her side dude having threesomes, which he say they would smoke weed and they would have the girl and they would all get high and, just fall off into bliss and stuff like that. So he ends up, this whole time she's saying when she was being, in her deposition or whatever you want to call it, she basically tells that because of the nature of her job, she had to get high every night and get high every morning in order to make it through the job. And she developed this dependency on lean. And when she tried to get off of it, off of this syrup, this prescription syrup, she was having withdrawal symptoms from it. And it was causing her to have depression and nausea. So she went to see a doctor behind that, and the doctor told her that he basically diagnosed her with misuse of medication. And when she was asked if this affected her judgment and her duties as a judge by being high, she said no. It didn't affect her duties and her judgment as far as being a judge and basically sentencing people who were in there for petty, small possession charges and things like that while she was high while she was doing this, which makes this even more crazy. She for you to say and you admit this in front of the commission that you were high a lot of times when you were on the bench and you were handing out these sentences, it's just crazy in itself. So after all this investigation, obviously the side dude was subpoenaed, and he's telling a lot of this stuff, which a lot of the stuff she denied, but some of it she said she was true. She admitted to that he was a side dude, and that they did do drugs together and all this stuff like that. But her lawyer tried to argue and say, well, you guys are asking for a suspension, but she was just reelected last year, this past November. She was just reelected. So it's basically based upon this being a democracy. It should be based upon what the people want, not what this branch, the judicial branch of the government wants. As far as the commission to basically suspend her. You know, I believe she had an 86%. She won 86% of the vote. Which was obviously by a landslide by winning this. So her lawyer was saying it shouldn't be. It's unjust to remove her based upon this stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. She's even despite all of this that's going on, she still she was suspended this past Friday. I believe I already said that. But this commission is seeking for the Supreme Court to basically remove her from the bench altogether, and that could take years. And obviously, while she's being suspended without pay, whoever is the interim that's sitting in for her, re-election may come up before she could even be suspended or have a hearing, a civil court hearing, because she's not facing any criminal charges for this. It could, that time could lapse, and they could re-elect someone new by that time. So it's just something, basically where it just seems like, despite all of this, I always say judges are like almost all powerful. They can do whatever they want. But I would wonder if this was a black man that was doing what she was doing, what would his fate be as a black judge, a black male judge in this? Getting high, getting prostitutes, cheating on his wife, and all this stuff. Well, people will come as usual. Obviously, you could say her husband Ronald Green was a bitter man. You could say he was vindictive. You could say that he's a snitch, and all of this stuff, which is probably coming up, is probably what everyone is saying. How could, and he's obviously, testifying, he's trying to get her fired. How could a man who's supposed to be your husband, someone that loves you, and even your side dude, two dudes that supposedly loved you because she was with the side dude for years, they're going to turn around and just betray you to the courts and trying to get you fired by telling on you. But you got, in the same token, you have bitter, vindictive women who do the same thing in court. Will get in court and do the same thing. It's just that this guy Barnes was probably offered a deal or some kind of whatever to testify, or even the husband probably paid the side dude to testify. Who knows, man? It's a crazy world out here. But I just wanted to talk about this real quick, because I saw it come across, and it's weird how you read stuff like this and it sounds like it's out of a movie, and you got a judge who's supposed to be a righteous person, fair and impartial, under the influence of these drugs, and basically, do as I say, not as I do, sending people to jail. So I don't know. Real quick, I thought I'd just talk about this, But make sure you guys, if you haven't, go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. You know what I mean? Add me on social media if you haven't yet. The link is in the description, along with my author profile for Amazon. My email address is there as well. Feel free to email me any questions or any topics you'd like me to discuss. I have no problem addressing that. Coming in on the end. What's up, 2 Trill? You know what I mean? And got the Well of Wisdom there as well. T-shirts are coming soon. I'll be posting that link. I'll let y'all know when that's out. That way you guys can Pick yours up. I'm coming with a few different ones, like I said before. I know I got on here pretty late this evening, so. But yeah, y'all check me out on there when I post it up. We got some good stuff coming. And remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. Peace be upon you all, and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream, chat, video, whatever you want to call it. Peace. I'm out of here.